All right, everybody, we are excited to have Lydia on today to share with us. Get your pen and paper, get ready for a powerful half hour as we continue to lunch and grow on a new month, a new day. All right, Lydia, take it away.
Hi, thank you so much, Susan and Natasha, for inviting me to be a part of this amazing Lunch and Grow. What an honor. So I'm excited to share with y'all a little bit today because I know first and foremost, a lot of you are going to relate to my story big time. And so I hope you find and gather something from it that helps you move forward this month and just flat out rock it out and just run with it. So my name is Lydia Laws. I'm here in the Houston area, near the Woodlands area, and I joined Lavelle back in 2014. I will start with this. Just because I came on in 2014, that does not mean that you just blow up. Oh, the ones that were in the beginning hit 200K first and they were set up better and no. So with that said, I'm going to share a little bit of back history with you of my journey because mine was not the typical join in 2014 and just blew up to 200K. It did not work that way. In fact, it was complete opposite. And so I saw a friend, Mitzi Driver, posting on Facebook and immediately was interested in what she had because I knew, liked, and trusted her, right? Y'all have heard those three words. People need to know, like, and trust you to want to join you and be a part of what we have here. And I'd already known, like, and trusted her because we were best friends from college. I've known her since I was 18 and I could relate. I've got 3 kids. 2 of them are twins. So does she. So immediately I reached out to her and was like, girl, what is this patch thing? I don't know if it's going to work for me, but I want to know what I want to know about this. I would not order the first day, even as a customer. I did not want to promote this at all. In fact, I was so skeptic that even though I trusted her, that I just wanted a trial pack. So I paid her $25 PayPal and she sent that in the mail from Dallas to Houston. Yes, my best friend and I did pay her $25 for 3 days of Thrive. She was a smart girl, put value on her product. And when I started this Thrive stuff, I mean, immediately day one, I knew I felt something, but I didn't really know what. I just knew that I was onto something. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to jump into 30 days for myself and just see what this can really do. Because what if it does work? And so I did message her by noon and said, hey, how can I order this? And again, just a customer. 3 days later, I decided to flip to promoter. Total ignorance on fire, knew nothing. Mitzi literally knew nothing because she had just joined a few days prior to me. And so with that said, I did decide to flip to promoter, even though I said I wasn't going to do it because it was free. When I learned more about it, I decided I'm going to, why not? If there's no fees involved and I can run this for free and I'm loving the way I feel, then I may as well, do this thing. With that, I never joined this thinking that this was going to be, that I was just going to blow up and make all this money and it was going to change my family's life. And in fact, if Mitzi would have told me all those things, I probably would have laughed at her just because I didn't feel like that was realistic for me. At the time, my husband was oil and gas. He traveled all the time. And so I basically, since the twins were born, was home with them by myself more than half the time. So to say that I was tired and exhausted and did not have time to run a quote business is putting it lightly. So with that, I did jump into this full speed. Just because I was excited. I really wasn't looking at the money aspect. I thought, okay, I mean, I've got 4 people that can do this, and hit a bonus or whatever, and I want to thrive for free. And I know I want to get some of this for my husband. So, okay, I guess I could hit a bonus if I get mom and hubby and brother on board, which were 3 of my 4 people. And also one of my good friends, neighbor, joined me, and I share this with you because I'm fixing to get into something and talk a little bit about consistency with you guys. So with that, I did hit VIP 800 in 3 days. I did hit 1600 by the end of the 14 days. And by 3.5 weeks in, I hit 4K. And I was excited, y'all. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on fire. Like, I've never had success like this. came into this as a stay-at-home mom. I did not have a big network. I did not come from any other direct sales that I had a lot of a team that came with me or anything like that. I was your typical stay-at-home mom. Honestly, did not have time even hardly for social time because my schedule was packed because hubby was never here. So the kids' schedule came first, and I didn't have this big circle of friends, and we hadn't lived in Houston that long either. So with that said, it wasn't like I had all these people to reach out to. And at that time, social media was not even as big of a thing as it is now. So what I found though was when I hit 4K and was so excited and like, man, we're going 12K, it's going to be no time at all. Yeah, that didn't happen. And I was doing the things, you guys. I was reaching out. I was putting it on Facebook. Proof is in the pudding. It shows in my memories all the time, and I laugh at myself because I was constantly like, thrive, thrive, thrive. I mean, I was legit putting it out there. And really, you know, wearing my couch, you can see it. I mean, anything you can think of. I had neighbors coming by and getting samples, and I was handing out samples like crazy, and, you know, all the things we're supposed to do, but I stalled and I was stuck and I was frustrated because why? I was watching people around me trying not to do the compare journey, but naturally human nature, you do that sometimes, even though we're told not to. Our journey is our own. But Mitzi was hitting, you know, hit 200K in 4 months, and I was stuck between 4 and 8,000 in volume and just could not for the life of me get to 12. And, you know, it did take me 8 months to hit 12K. I hit it right at the beginning of 2015. It was another year and a month to hit 40K. It was another year and a couple of months. I actually hit 80K at Thrivepalooza that year. And it was another year and a few months to hit 200K back in 2018. So I was a 4-year and a little, you know, a few more months to hit that rank of 200K. So first of all, I think a lot of people jump into this and they think, man, I'm going to blow up. I mean, I'm seeing my friends do this and do that, and I'm going to just rock it out, and I'm going to hit this rank, and it's going to be so easy, and it's just going to happen. And that doesn't work that way. You know, we like to share that that this business is easy, that the concept is easy, our product is easy. But guys, the dedication to stay consistent through thick and thin, no matter if life is hitting you in the face or not, you know, through adversity and all, to stick with the daily tasks, to stick with what you got to do to get to the end of your road. That's the hard part. That's the hard part. And having patience with other people because they join us in their time, not ours. And I learned that real quick. So when I was 4K trying to get 12, I'm going to circle back for a second. Now that you kind of know my timeline, I realized that I was doing something completely wrong, even though I thought I was doing something right. So the first thing I'd ask you today is I want you to dig deep, and I want you to think, what am I doing that I could change? And I always tell my team that there's 3 C's. You can make a change, you can be confident, and you have to stay consistent. So, and I don't know who shared that one time on some amazing Zoom, but it has stuck with me, and I share it and I try to remember it because we can always make a change. We have to stay confident with what we have. The second we're not, people see that confidence, you know, is what you need to keep going as well. Having confidence in yourself, having confidence in your team, and confidence in those that join you, and in where you're going, and staying consistent. Okay. The magic word, consistency. And I know y'all have heard that over and over again, but a lot of people are like, but I'm consistent. So I'm still not getting there. So I guess I'm not cut out for this. And I'm here to tell you that you're wrong, because I realized I was doing something wrong. And it happened when I went to a local here in Houston. It was one of the first I'd ever heard about. And Maria Dillard actually came out for it. And I was excited. I went by myself because I didn't have a team here really, or anybody that was like at that level. Like, I really wanted this. And I didn't really have anybody that was like, yeah, girl, I'm going to go with you because I want this too. No, I just went by myself. I went for me. And so after that local, which was amazing, I'd gone out to dinner with a lot of the leaders and things that put that on. And Maria was there, and I sat next to her, and we started chatting and was getting to know her because I'd never met her before. And she asked me straight up, so how's your business going? And I said, well, Maria, frankly, I'm really frustrated. And she was like, well, why? Well, what's the problem? And I'm like, well, no one will do this with me. And she goes, well, you just have to find the ones that do. And it was that simple of an answer. And I said, I went home thinking to myself, but I thought I was doing that. And then it clicked. It dawned on me. I was reaching out to the same people over and over and over, you guys. That BFF from across the street, that friend from high school that I just knew was going to join me and rock this out. Those people, that list, that short list of those that you think they're going to join me and we're going to freaking kill it. They didn't want to do this with me, but I kept following up with them, which is great, right? Follow up is great. And I'll talk about a little bit of that in a minute, but that you can follow up, but they're not going to join you because you want them to. They're going to join you because they're ready to do it. And if they're not ready, or they don't want what you have, or they're just not interested, that's not going to get you to the next rank. So you have to figure out a way to grow that network, to reach out beyond that. And it hit me like a brick when I realized, holy cow, I was doing what I should do, but I wasn't doing it to the extent I needed to. And so I had to learn how to reach out beyond that market. And I think a lot of people get stuck there. They get through the warm market and they think, oh, well, nobody wants to do this with me and I don't know what to do. And, blah, blah, and you get in your head and then you quit because you think, well, I reached out to everybody and no one wants to do it with me. You haven't reached out to everybody because there's millions of people on Instagram. There's millions of people in your towns. There's millions of people that don't know about Thrive. And even now, living in a huge city in the middle of Houston, every day that I get out and go somewhere, guys, people I run into do not know about this product. So if you're sitting there thinking everybody knows about it, you are wrong. And you've got to check yourself because people do not know about this product. The reason you're saying that to yourself is probably fear. A lot of people deal with fear, right? That's what stops you from being consistent. It's fear of rejection. So you won't reach out to those people because that you kind of want to, but you don't because you're scared of the rejection. You don't go live and share your story to get it out there because you're scared of what people will think of you. You're scared of failure. You're scared of falling, but you've got to fall forward in order to move forward in this business. You are going to fail. And, you're afraid of upsetting somebody. If you get a big team in this business and you rock this out, you guys, and your team rocks this out, there's going to be people that will end up getting upset with you one day. There will be a disagreement that you have to deal with as a leader and find a way to compromise and work through it because not everybody is going to like you. And that was a big eye opener for me because I'm a people person. I want to please everybody. I want everyone to be happy and yay, but it happens. So those are things with fear that I had to let that go. I had to realize that it's okay if not everyone likes me, but guess what? I have a leader that they're going to connect with amazing, and that's okay. It's okay if they don't like me. It's okay if we don't get along as well, because there's somebody else they can connect to. And feeling uncomfortable. If you're not feeling uncomfortable in this business, then you're not going to grow. So those things are things that I really want you to think about and dig deep about as you move into October and beyond in the last 9 days of the year. Are some of these things holding you back? In some ways that I let myself be uncomfortable. Guys, when I go out in public, number one, when I found out we were gonna have to wear a freaking mask, number one, I don't think anybody likes all that, right? But I sure did get me a $10 mask that says, "Do you thrive?" And I sport that everywhere I go that requires a mask when you walk in the door, which is pretty much everywhere here still right now. So that way it's on my face, it's written on my face. So people naturally are asking me about it at the kids' school, at the grocery store when I'm checking out, whatever. And the second I tell them that it helps immune support, I don't have business cards with me when I'm out and about. I use a virtual card. Why? Because it forces me to ask them for their information so that I can text them my virtual card. It gets me out of my comfort zone, and that I am in control of that follow-up. I'm in control of, getting them that free account, making sure that I'm walking them through the funnel. I'm not waiting for them to magically call me off a business card. And I'm not hating on business cards. I think there's a lot of really great situations where business cards are extremely helpful. But when I go out in public, I purposely usually don't take it with me because I want to be uncomfortable and ask that question, "Girl, can I text you my virtual business card? I would love you to have more information." And then that way I have their phone number. And if I'm asking them, "Can I share my virtual business card with you?" I'm not asking for their number, so it's not so invasive. It's, hey, can I share my card with you? And I've never had anybody tell me no, except one time, because guess what? The girl behind me in the checkout line, she said, when I asked her, what can I share my card with you? She goes, oh, I have a friend that thrives. And I said, well, go get with your friend. So that is the only time that I've had someone tell me no. That verbiage has been golden for me out in public, cold market, that quick 60-second conversation, and I'm able to get their information. And now I've got a new connection that I can add to my list. Staying consistent and being ready on the go. You know, the little things like the mask, your DFTs where people can see it, those little things. But that mask, y'all, I mean, it's golden. I love it because it gives me more of a reason to go, okay, I have to abide by these so-called whatever to walk in the store. I don't like wearing the mask. I'm not a fan of it, but I'm going to put it on and I'm just going to have, you know, it is what it is, but if I have to wear this, I'm going to make it worth my while and I'm going to grow my business while I'm doing it because there's people in this store that need what I've got. So getting creative with what you're doing, you know, and I the reason I got, do you thrive on it is because it's asking the question. So then that makes in their brain, they're immediately reading that. And in their brain, they're going, I wonder what that is. And it makes them want to ask me. With that, I want to talk a little bit about setbacks because with the journey, I think a lot of us will watch others in this journey and we think, man, they're rocking it out. Wow, they got, you know, their business is going so good. Look how, God, they're so lucky. Look at that journey. And we immediately start getting in the comparison mode. We want to try to have what they have. And, you know, you don't always see what goes on behind closed doors. So when I say that you're going to, you know, that this journey is not easy, that it's consistently going to change for you. There's going to be those high moments that are going to just change your life. It's going to make you cry. It's going to be incredible. And there's going to be moments that would literally going to knock you on your butt, slap you across the face, make you want to quit moments. And, you know, to say that 2020 has not been a hard year, I think is putting it lightly. Not only have we had all this junk going on with pandemic and all this, guys, I lost an 80K leg this year. She was a girl that came in my business early on, changed my business and helped me hit 12K. She was the one that I needed, the one to change my business that helped it go 12K and beyond, honestly. And this year, after her being with me for 5 years, she decided to leave, flat out deleted her account. So just because you hit a certain rank or you reach that goal where you want to be, whether it's 12K, 4K, you want to go all the way to 200K, whatever it is, you can't just go, I made it, sweet. Now I can just stop here because I got this team and they're just rocking it out and they're rock stars. And I can just sit back and enjoy this ride and these paychecks every week. I'm living the good life. And, you know, it is a good life. It is a good life when you hit those ranks and you've got those weekly residual income coming in that can help bless your family and hitting the auto bonus. It is good. But at the end of the day, guys, this business is a revolving door. So if you are not consistent and finding new ways to share with people and getting out of your comfort zone and getting away from the fear we talked about, you will not grow. And when people decide to leave that you think never will, y'all, this was somebody that I never thought would leave this business. She was in it to win it. She was an auto bonus earner. She been on vacation. She's been to Thrive-Palooza. I could go on and on. 2 months before she decided to leave, she signed up 15 new promoters. You never know what is going to happen. And I don't know all the reason. But what I do know is that was a moment that was devastating for me. Did it change my business? Absolutely. Challenge came with that. A lot of challenge. Trying to dig down, trying to make sure I'm connected to people levels upon levels deep, because she was that middle person and now it's taken out. So don't take what you've got for granted. Don't depend on your team thinking, oh, I got it made. Now I can sit back and just qualify for this or that and get a few new customers, when you never know when that it's going to slap you across the face, because somebody's going to change their mind. Somebody's going to leave. You're going to run into adversity that is going to be difficult. And that was one for me this year, a huge one. You know, another thing that I like to share, and just to be real, you know, a lot of people struggle with redline. Guys, you're not rocking this business out if you haven't dealt with redline, like legit. If you have a redline, that means you've got something going. And, you know, my team and I have a saying, like, redline is better than no line. So embrace it, roll with it, love on it, because people would kill to have that volume. There was a time that, like, I would have killed to have a red line volume because I was trying to get 12K and struggling, you know, and trying to figure my way through this journey. So roll with it, because if you're being consistent and doing the daily do and doing what you need to do to share Thrive, to get it out there, and you're going to even it out eventually. I'm trying to see how much time. I don't even have a timer here. So Susan, you might have to jump in and go, Lydia.
You have 9 minutes, and I'm watching the chat. So just allow me, like, I don't know, 5 minutes at the end, and we'll go over the chat stuff.
Okay. So, real quick, guys, I will kind of close out with a couple of things that help me stay consistent. Number one, I always go out with Thrive in my brain and ready to share. I'm in ready mode. If someone asks me, I'm ready to answer the question. And that's the reason with the mask on my face. I know that someone's going to ask me, so I got to be ready with my 30 seconds of what it is and how I can get their information. Organization. I have a huge book that I have all my stuff in. It's organized by promoter, customer, and I have paper in here. I add to it. My lists are in here. There's notes in here. Organization, I'm a writer, not a techie girl, so writing works for me. And my calendar is always done a month in advance, or like before the end of the month. I'm already geared up for October. I already am taking that leadership lead and setting up my team in an environment where they can succeed. So that would be one other thing I would ask you. It doesn't matter what rank you are. Are you being the leader that your team needs? And are they in an environment where they can succeed? Are you setting that tone? Are you planning, you know, trainings in your, you know, for your team, for Zooms or team, whatever, like Zooms, calls, those kind of things? Are you scheduling lives and interviewing people on Facebook so your team can share those and do watch parties? But I plan those things in advance. So like I look at October and I already have that time blocked. And that organization is huge, because if I'm not organized, it'll come and go. And then I hadn't planned anything. So plan in advance. I always make it a goal that by the first of a month, I'm ready to rock that entire month out. It's planned out from A to Z, where I'm going to be, my kids, what we've got going on. Fall forward. Without a setback, there is no reward. And it's part of it. You're going to have challenges here, no matter what rank you are. And, you know, you can get in a funk about it and struggle with it, but you can't stay there. So I don't know, Susan, I think I'll go ahead and turn it to you so that way we can make sure we get any questions answered or in the chat.
I know, sorry. It rings on my phone and my computer. Okay. So one thing I know that I wrote down, go back to this, the 3 C's: change, confidence, and consistency. Everybody, whew, do we all need that? And I like that, even though, let's try to make this not sound bragging or pretentious. There's a lot of times that even successful people in my organization, and I had a great month last month, and I hit every goal that I had set out for the month, and I loved it. Made sure I set a goal for the month, and I didn't finish work until I got them. But there was, I still do that, even though I do need to do it. I never want to be so comfortable that I don't feel like there's something I could always improve on. And I will say this, that last month I signed customers, and then throughout my organization, I was helping customers, promoters, but I never brought a promoter in. And I usually always try to bring in 2 to 4 a month, but it wasn't my focus last month. I didn't even have it on my goals. That's probably why I didn't hit it, because I never put it there. But that is something I need to improve on, because obviously, in case y'all don't know, they've said it more than once. This is probably a qualifying month for a trip. So you need to have promoters. So I literally woke up this morning and I was like, what am I going to do? Because there is something I need to change. So I'm glad you said that. Change and be confident in what you're doing and be consistent. Reaching out to the same people over and over again. Oh my God, I totally do that. And I'm all about time to follow up. We didn't quite get you in. It's in October, or September. How about October? And I think what you're really trying to say is that you need to branch out. Like, it's okay to follow up with all those people. They're on your list. You probably have a free account with them, but you got to keep going and get more people. I probably need to work on that too. That was really fun.
It's a constant thing. Yeah. I always tell my team too, like, if you're not feeling a little defeated or a little overwhelmed with sometimes what all we've got to do, you're not doing it right. I mean, there's room for improvement no matter how much you do in this business. I'm always like, Lydia, get it together, so there's always something.
Of course, her next thing she said was, you got to get uncomfortable. So I was like, okay. Because I do think that we get very much in a comfort zone, especially if it's working well with us. And guys, we never say, hey, if it's working for you, change it. No. Maybe just add to it and do something just a little bit different. So I'm with you on that. That was a great. Okay. You said this, the virtual business card. I don't hand out cards either. I usually put them in packages, or if I do a donation to something, that's my business cards will last 3 years. They take forever. And then a lot of times if I'm out, if somebody says, so what is that sticker on your arm? My go-to wording is, oh my gosh, it's Thrive. Have you not heard of Thrive? What's your email? And I'll literally start making a free account. What do you mean by virtual business card? I guess I don't know what that is.
So there's a few ways you can do it. There is a link that you can make one that actually it's free and you can click on it. I'll post it in the group, you guys, so that way y'all can all see it. But as far as just when I first came up with the idea, or kind of thought of the idea, and I don't know where I got it from, but I just went and picked collage, and I found a cute picture of myself, like a selfie that I really like that shows my DFT. It has my name on it. It has my phone number, and it has my website, and I'll just text it to people. It's just super easy. And that way I have their cell number, because when you have their phone number, that's power. It is power. And then if I can make them with a free account, obviously I do. But I love the fact that I have their phone number, because then texting, I feel like they're more likely to respond versus email. Although email's great. I email every month, my whole network and all those things. And we got to have it set up a free account. But sometimes I have customers sign up and they don't put the phone number. So then you're trying to connect email, and sometimes it's hard. So the more info you have from them, the better. And if you got their number, well, then you can work down and get an email,
I love that. I love that. And I've never thought about it. I thought you were going to like right now, I feel so antisocial because I am having to wear a mask, and I smile with my whole face. My whole face smiles, but they still can't tell that. And so, I mean, I do like to talk to people, and we really can't. So, I mean, and probably can't be handing off stuff. So let's see. I'd love to hear more about how to organize your notebook. Just finishing a contest with organization contests. Woo, I'm telling y'all, I literally take probably one full day in my business office to make sure I'm organized for the month. Because if I live in chaos, well, one, I'm going to forget to follow up with somebody. For sure. Going live, do you research things to discuss?
Don't really research, I guess partly because I'm kind of fly by the seat of my pants mama. So sometimes just my kids give me ideas because they're crazy. And right now they're virtual learning. So I'm sharing stuff like that. But if I'm scheduling a live and like putting that effort into, okay, this day, this time I'm going live, it's usually I'm bringing somebody on and I'm interviewing and having them share Thrive, and we'll maybe be on for 10 minutes. I usually try to do those at least a couple times a month. And a lot of it is just to help my team members get out there, because it's a win-win. You're getting validation, but it's sharing their story. So if I'm going live on Facebook, that's usually what it is. I've gone live in the stories. Recently, I'm trying to get more into that, where I'll share things like what we're doing. The kids are having PE on the trampoline, like something goofy. I've done recipes a little bit, but I don't take a lot of time to research it. I just kind of go, and whatever I'm doing in life, people want to know what life is about and what's going on with you and get to know you. So I just kind of roll with it.
Yeah,
With
well,
whatever's going on.
that usually makes the best videos. Okay, Curtis asked about your Thrive mask, and I literally just pulled up Etsy and found while you were talking, I don't know if that's where you got yours, but just like Etsy and personalized mask. And I just picked a font, picked what I wanted it to say. I did white glitter on black, so it's very obvious, and it'd be very bold. And ordered it like while she was talking. So I don't know where you do yours, Lydia. Where do you do yours at?
I've got a friend, actually a Thriver friend, that does, like, she started making masks too, and I said, girl, I need a Thrive one. And it just kind of, I don't know what made me think of it. It just came to me, and it was like $10, and I met her in the parking lot, just your local, and got it. So I think she still does them. So if anybody wants that information, I can definitely share that with you. You can just message me personally or whatever. But yeah, I mean, but like you said, I think now there's so many people that are doing things like that. Anybody that can do vinyl or whatever, I don't do any of that stuff. I'm not crafty. I think can do them. Like you said, Etsy probably has a ton of them, so you can make them there.
I wear, everybody makes fun of me. Like when I spent a couple of weekends ago with Amber and Mario and all them, every time I pulled out a mask, it was some sort of bling, glitter, whatever, because people comment on it. And of course, if they're commenting out, that means they're looking at me. They're probably seeing a LaBelle shirt, Thrive shirt, or a patch. But here's the bottom line: even if I went to Thrive, I'd still be wearing a glitter thing. So how that's gonna go. So that's awesome. Okay, Lydia, any live? Let's see, real life shows. Okay, let me just make sure we didn't miss anything. Everybody's complimenting you. You might want to read those. You might want to read those chats just to get yourself a little boost today. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any last closing remarks, and we'll wrap it up?
You know, guys, I think I just put quitting off the table. Don't let that be an option for you. Don't let others set the reality for you and where you're going with your business. And, you know, those naysayers, those that are not supportive. I mean, I had family members that made fun of me or not supportive or whatever. It's like they try to be, but they're really not. And I never let that stop me. I let it push me. And you know, I just never let not qualifying is not an option as we're going into October, and I'm waiting on about y'all for that email about that trip that I so badly need. It's not an option. It's not an option to not qualify. I will not give myself that. So don't go, oh, I'm going to try to go for it. Make it a goal. Like Susan just said with her calendar or whatever she's doing, make it a goal that you are going to get it, that it's not. And when I go in with that mindset, I hit it every time because I won't let myself go there. You know what I mean?
And if you need promoters, put them on your goal sheet.
Yes.
I will say by 10:08 this morning, I had a new promoter. I was like, well, I guess I need to write that down. Don't ask me. I don't know. I had lots of customers. I was really focused on that, but wow, it was just really funny to me. But at the end of the month, I was like, goodness. Okay, guys, we'll tune in again tomorrow at 11:30 as we have be Friday. We already have next week almost completely lined up. We're so excited. I really hope y'all are still enjoying all these lunch and grows because our speakers, like Lydia, I didn't know you before this. I don't think we might have crossed paths, but I just heard from somebody new. So thank you for taking time out of your schedule today to be on with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.